This is 3.4, and this is on quadratic and power models. So number 7, this is part of your homework actually, so you might want to do this on your homework notebook. A ball is thrown upward from the top of a 48-foot building. So that's the first piece of information that they're giving us. That's where it's thrown. The ball is 64 feet above the ground after 1 second. And it reaches the ground in 3 seconds. The height above ground is a quadratic function of the time after the ball is thrown. So this one would be seconds and feet. So the height of the ball, the height above ground is a quadratic function of the time after the ball is thrown. So if I was going to make ordered pairs out of these, or I could just do my seconds and my feet, I would say, looking at the red here, in 0 seconds at the very beginning, the ball was thrown, it was at 48 feet high. After 1 second, the ball was at 64, that's the green part. And then at ground level, which would be 0 for feet, that happened in 3 seconds. So to find it says write an equation of this function, and this is quadratic. So you're going to do your stat, calc, you're going to put L1 and L2. This would be my L1, this would be my L2. And you're going to find the regression. So you're going to do stat, actually stack L1, L2. And then you're going to do stat, calc, and you're going to do the quadratic regression. And if I was just going to show you where that was, you would do stat, calc, and it would be the quadratic, which would be number 5 here. So that's where you're going to do that one. And when you do all of that, you're going to get the equation negative 16x squared. We predicted that, right? Because we know a ball up in the air is going to go like that, upside down parabola, plus 32x, and we're guessing this is going to be 48 because this is my y-intercept. And if you look at your calculator, it actually is. And my r squared is 1. How do you get your r squared again? You go into your catalog and you turn your diagnostic on. Okay, and knowing this is a 1, if it wasn't a 1, I might not have gotten 48 for that y-intercept because it would have been just an estimate. And you're going to round all these, make sure you round them to the nearest thousands. So in this section, it's actually easier just to go through your homework problems, which I'll do a couple with you. Number 8 is very similar to number 9, so I'm going to let you do that yourself. Number 18, also part of your homework, make a scatter plot of the data on the table below. So I'm going to have you just do this on your graphing calculator, right? So it's going to look something like that. And then I want you to find the linear and the power regression. Does it appear that a linear model or a power model is a better fit? And I'm going to show you where the power model is. So here's the linear model, number 4. So you're going to do stat calc number 4, enter through that, and you're going to get your equation. And then the power model, just to go through these, that's linear, quadratic, cubic, quartic. Number 8 we don't use. This is the natural log or log. This is exponential. And here's the power function. So you're going to do stat calc, and you're going to come all the way down here to the power regression to get to your power model here. And we're just going to give it to you so you make sure you do this correctly. But I definitely need to be doing this on your calculator. X to the 1.17. And then you're going to find the r squared on both of these. And the linear was 2.065, x minus 1.565. And then you're going to find your r squares, and whichever one is closest to 1 is going to be your better fit. is going to make a better prediction. 23, very similar. Be careful that you understand what year 0 is. So you're going to put 0 in the calculator here. You're going to put all of these in, and then this loops back up over here. You're going to keep putting these in. So these are all your L1s. And then these are the L2s that go with those L1s, the pairs that they go with. So notice how this isn't, this part here isn't lower. It's right next to it. And then they ask you to find a quadratic model. And then does the model appear to be a good fit? So obviously you want to find your R squared to tell that. And then find and interpret the vertex of the graph of the rounded model. So you're going to find the vertex, and then you're going to interpret it. So thinking about that, the X is years, and the Y is median annual income. So when you get those X and your Y's, make sure you have your words in your sentences along with the numbers in one sentence. 25, very, very similar. I just want to go over D on this. Find and interpret the vertex. Oops. 23 is very similar. 29 is one that I wanted to look at. So 29D, so you should be able to do A, B, C. According to the model, when will the cost for a 30-second ad be $4 million? So they want to know when will it, so that's the X, the years, the cost be $4 million. So this is going to end up to be your Y2. And and whatever you get for your quadratic function is going to be your Y1, and wherever those intersect is going to give you the X that you're going to decide, which is going to be your D. 31, you're finding the power model, so be careful that you're using the right one. It should be a number and then X to some power. And then what rate of violent crimes did the model predict for 2012? So you have to think 2012 is which X, and then you can take that X if you wanted to and just drop it in for the X here. So be careful when you put that in to come out to the rate answering the question. 39, you should be able to do both of those. So it's talking about power functions and quadratic functions, which you already know how to do those. 41, these are all your homework problems. 41B, in what year, so remember the year is the X, that's what they're trying to ask you for, right? In what year did the model predict the tax per capita, that's the Y, is $7,500. So again, when you're given Y, this is going to be your Y2. And your Y1 is going to be your equation of best fit there. So that's going to be your Y1. And then you're going to find the intersection. And the X part is what you want for your year. So just to give you a little bit of guidance on that one. And then those are your homework problems. So I kind of set you up on what you're doing. I didn't do number 1 with you either. So that's it.